Cool. Well, a warm welcome and a very good morning to everyone who is joining us this morning. My name is Josh Simpkins. I am the project officer for the Lambeth Carers Card here at Carers Hub Lambeth. Today with us, we have Juliet, who is the Client Services Manager at Carers UK, and yeah, very lucky to have Juliet come along and speak to us later on in the session about our wonderful digital resources that the card offers. Before we make a start, just to let everyone know, you can comment any sort of questions you may have for us on the live feed. My colleague Polly will be able to answer those, and we have a Q&A sort of session at the end that we can pick up any sort of questions that that you guys might have as well. Also, when Juliet presents too, any questions around the digital resource or anything that she discusses, we'll be picking up those questions as well. Cool. Just a final note on the commenting as well for you guys. Please don't refrain from using personal details and things like that, just because it's a public space and people will be able to see those details. So if you just keep it, nice and without any sort of personal details, that will be fantastic. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen and go through a few slides and present what the Lambeth Carers Card is, and then we'll go from there. Cool. Perfect. Cool. As I mentioned, this is our itinerary for the morning. So give you a bit of a background on the card itself. What the card offers, how to sign up, what's next, and then at the end we've got a fantastic video to show you too, and over the questions as well. Cool. So what the Lambeth Carers Card is. So the Lambeth Carers Card is for unpaid carers that are over the age of 18 that live in or care for someone that lives in Lambeth. Now, it connects you to helpful information, resources, and support just to help you with that caring role. It also helps raise awareness of caring in our borough of Lambeth, and we want to make sure that we reach more carers earlier in their caring role. So I guess an unpaid carer is someone who provides support for a friend, family member, or a neighbour. And the people that they look after, they may be affected by a disability, a physical and mental ill health, frailty, or substance misuse there too. Cool. So just a bit about us. So Carers Hub Lambeth and MYsocial are working together to deliver the Lambeth Carers Card. The scheme is funded by the London Borough of Lambeth, also the NHS South East London CCG, and it's an essential part of our work around the Lambeth Carers strategy too. So our first partner is obviously Carers Hub Lambeth. So Carers Hub Lambeth works with unpaid carers, obviously in the Borough of Lambeth, and we support carers from ages from 5 upwards, and we split this work across 2 services. So our Lambeth Young Carers, which is that age group from 5 to 21, and then our adult service carers, so adult carer service, which is 21 and above there. So we support our carers through peer support groups, groups and activities, and one-to-one sort of tailored support with the team there. So obviously this is all done online now. So all our services and support will be running virtually, which is fantastic. And yeah, our second partner is obviously MYsocial, who unfortunately couldn't make it today, but I'll quickly sort of brief everyone on what MYsocial is and their fantastic work within our community. So MYsocial is brought to you by Age UK Lambeth, and they help people, discover friendships, connect them with their community, and and more importantly, do things, you know, that people want to do that makes them happy. So yeah, like I said, MYsocial is a fantastic opportunity to, you know, for people to connect, especially in these times of, you know, that sort of isolation and you know, feeling a bit disconnected, you know, during this pandemic. So, and the way that MYsocial, I guess, provides, you know, this support is through the excellent calendar events. And that's a fantastic way for, you know, people to connect through these events. You know, obviously during the coronavirus pandemic, everything's moved online. So there's some still opportunities for people to connect through, yeah, coffee mornings, yoga, seated exercises, and singing, and a whole lot more. So MYsocial is open to all adults over the age of 18. It's free to join. And yeah, as I mentioned, just a great way to connect with people and do some amazing activities and things like that. I'll share a video towards the end, which highlights an amazing, I guess, picture and visual of what MYsocial is. Fantastic. So the first part of what the Lambeth Carers Card is going to offer is emergency planning. So we've pieced together some things that we think, you know, will be helpful for carers. And these, you know, we just want to get carers to think about, you know, if something does happen, they have a plan in place that they can, you know, put to use. So what we've done is we've created these planning resources, emergency planning resources. And our thoughts around it was just an informal resource that you can use if you want to, just to share that information, you know, if something does happen. More so, we've had 3 resources that we've made, and one of the 3 benefits is that obviously the card itself, which provides a space for your emergency contact numbers. The second part is the emergency template, which maps out, you know, step-by-step sort of details of the person you care for. And then also the fridge flyer, that we like to call it, where it's a flyer that says that you're a carer, and you can easily pop it in, you know, places that are easily sort of seen and accessible as well. So what I'll do is I will quickly show you the resources here. So as you can see, the card itself, this is the card with the 3 illustrations. That is the front. And then on the back is the emergency contact. So if you imagine this card as a bank card or an Oyster card, it's easily, you know, you can fit it into your wallet, your purse, and you can have with you when you're out and about. And, you know, if something does happen when you're out and about, you have that card there to identify you that you're a carer, and this is what to do, who to call. So that's the card there. What I will do is show you the template. So this is the emergency carers plan. So we've put this together just to show, like I mentioned, just some step-by-step, you know, basic details for the person that you look after. And as you can see, we've got, you know, what the support's needed, the basic details, along with, you know, medications, allergies, and other people to contact, and just a space for that extra information as well. Cool. That second bit is the fridge flyer, as we like to sort of call it. So this is easily, you know, you can pop it anywhere on the fridge, on you know, the bench where it's easily seen, and it's just showcases that, you know, you're a carer, and this is what to do, who to call for your emergency contacts there. So yeah, as just to sort of wrap up there with the emergency planning, it's just an informal, you know, resource that you can use as a carer. You know, we thought it might be beneficial, and it's just more so that you get to think about, you know, just in case if something does happen in an emergency, you have that plan in place. Juliet will talk a bit more about the Jointly app, which is the digital side of the emergency planning, which is fantastic as well. But I'll leave that for Juliet, and I'll, you know, explain a bit more later on as well. Cool. So the second part is the local information. So we wanted to connect carers to, the latest information, the news, support and opportunities for carers in Lambeth. And so what we've done is we've created, our regular e-newsletters, or newsletters, I should say, that get sent out regularly. Our monthly webinars, which will be starting in November, which we're very excited to be starting. And our first guest will be the Lambeth Advanced Care Planning Consortium, and that is happening in November. Also signposting on the Lambeth version of the digital resource, and as I mentioned earlier, Juliet will touch a bit about that and show you more about that, which is fantastic. We also want local organisations as well. We're really keen to, connect with these local organisations and just so that we can help, our carers in Lambeth and connect them to that helpful information as well. Lastly, the card will, with discounts, in the due course, the card will offer some great discounts with local businesses in the borough. But obviously, once the situation with coronavirus allows it, we'll then sort of make our way using that. So, cool. Perfect. And so our third benefit for the scheme is the free digital resources. So as I mentioned, the scheme offers many benefits for carers, and one being the free access code for the Lambeth version of the Carers UK digital resources and jointly app. So, these resources include e-learning modules, fact sheets, interactive guides, and so much more. And like I mentioned in the previous slide, an app called Jointly, which is fantastic for emergency planning as well. So what I will do is I will hand over to Juliet to explain the fantastic digital resources. Cool. Cool. Just when you're ready, Juliet, you okay?
Thank you, Josh. Thank you so much. Let me try and share my screen so I can give you access to what your platform looks like on the digital resource. So Josh, do let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, of course.
Can you see it?
Yep, perfect.
Brilliant. So thank you, everyone, and good morning. And I'll just like to tell you a little bit, just not take up too much of your time, about Carers UK. So we are a free national membership charity, and we are here to support all carers across all 4 nations. We try as much as possible to be very innovative, to be able to provide our digital resources to be able to support carers. So what we've done with the digital resource, which brings together a number of specially designed digital products to be able to support carers, including some online resources around e-learning modules. And we do have quite a good number of those, from well-being to nutrition to support and caring. So, if we're looking at in the last couple of months, and we know that, the demand for care is rising and budgets are being squeezed. So we're always trying to find ways, affordable ways, effective ways of being able to provide information, advice, and resources to be able to keep on supporting carers through this crisis, through this pandemic, and as well as any other time that any carer requires that really vital practical support, and also knowing where to go to be able to get the support. So this is the digital resource for carers platform. This is what it looks like. So it's a joint branded platform. So you've got Carers UK on one side, and you've got Lambeth Carers Card. And thank you, Josh, for letting people know that this is how you access the platform through having your carers card and having the code, and you can now have direct access to this platform. It's also quite personalized. So where you see it says test user, that's where your own name will appear. So it feels very personal for you, something that has been designed to be able to help you. And the code next to it is actually the code to be able to access the platform. So what we've done is to design something that will be quite easy on the eye, but most importantly, very easy to navigate. And to set up an account or to be able to access this, it's so simple. It's easy, as simple as setting up an Amazon account. And we're always doing things like this on a daily basis. So this is no different. So we start off with the health and well-being section, but we've got 5 of them. So we've got health and well-being, we have support for caring, technology, which I'll talk to you later about, and that's home to our care coordination app called Jointly. Financial planning, because we all know the impact of caring on your finances, as well as working and skills. And this is something that's really relevant to working carers and, of course, non-working carers who perhaps may be looking at coming back into the workplace after many years or months of not working. So for the health and well-being, what we've done, we've actually redesigned this section and also enhanced some of the resources that we've added to it. But most importantly, we now have an e-learning module pretty much in every single section on this platform. So we start off with you and your well-being. This is a very, I'll probably stress this, probably the most important e-learning module to do on this platform, because we've really looked at how to build emotional resilience and physical resilience in caring. And that's through conversations with carers. You know, we have a consultations with carers and we say, what is of most importance to you right now? What would benefit you? What could be able to help you? And carers have said to us, if you lack emotional resilience, if you lack physical resilience in caring, it will break you. You haven't even started this journey. So we've listened, we've heard you, and we've gone back to be able to really produce something very comprehensive. And we've also dealt around situations that we didn't do before. So looking at mindfulness, how that will be really good in your day-to-day lives, looking at loss, we've looked at sort of like, low depression, looking at suicidal thoughts. And that's something carers go through every single day. You put a smile on your face trying to help those you are caring for, but no one ever thinks about the carer. Who cares for the carer? So it's really important to be able to try and go through this e-learning module. It's just about an hour, but it's really a really good hour of your time spent being able to know how to be able to build that, resilience and help you move forward when it comes to caring. So this is what the e-learning module looks like. I'll just kind of like quickly show you, and that's pretty much exactly what the rest of the e-learning modules will look like.
An e-learning course from Carers UK. My name's Sophie.
And I'm Matthew.
And together we'll be guiding you through this course.
So
caring for someone can be very rewarding, but it can also take its toll, both physically and emotionally. Whether you're looking after a partner, caring for a disabled child, or caring for an older parent at a distance, caring can create pressures which have an impact on your well-being.
This course is designed to help you build strategies to maintain your physical and emotional well-being.
So this is the start of you and your well-being, and I'll leave it for you to be able to come back into it in your own time and navigate through the e-learning module. So we are back here again, and we're looking at nutrition. Now, nutrition has been developed by Nutricia in partnership with Carers UK, and it looks at what the role of good nutrition in your life as a carer and for the person you are caring for. Do you even know what good nutrition looks like? So this is a 45-minute e-learning module here, and it's so interactive. It gives you the chance to be able to pull in food on the table, and it asks you what you think a good balanced diet look like. So this is really a very fun e-learning module to do, and I do highly encourage people to be able to know what that also looks like, what it feels like, and you can learn so much more around the role of nutrition. So similarly to you and your well-being, it takes you through the role of good nutrition, and it highlights those really critical areas of what you need to know as a carer, and of course how you can feed the person you are caring for. And other guides that we have here, if you look at this, spotlight on caring and nutrition. So this really focuses around the malnutrition in this country. We know that about 5 million people are on the verge, if not already suffering from malnutrition, ways that we can stop that without having to reach that crisis point that we're all trying to not get to. So it's kind of like, talking about ways that we can build a better balanced diet for us, for ourselves as a carer, and of course, the cared for. But it also looks at the role of nutrition in your own life as a carer. Are you eating well? Are you just grabbing food every now and again, or just probably snacking in between meals? You must learn how to eat properly and take care of yourself, because if something happens to you, what happens to the cared for? So just things to bear in mind when you're thinking about nutrition. We also have looking after your health guide, and just to let you know, all these guides are all downloadable. So if you need to download them for any reason, print them out, you are able to do so. So we're looking at the role looking after your health, and we always stress to carers, you must look after yourself. You have to speak to your GP. If you get a slight headache, don't write it off. Always call up your GP, and don't feel like as though you are stressing someone else out, or you're blowing something up. It doesn't matter, because you have someone who depends on you. So it's a must that you are being honest and truthful when something happens, and speak to the professionals and let them know. So you need to take care of yourself and find ways that you can cope with the stress that comes with caring, and potentially lack of sleep most times. So you really need to ensure that all those things are really well taken care of. And lastly, we're looking at taking a break. We cannot stress the importance of taking a break. You need that vital break. And we can also signpost you to organizations that can help you get that respite. But before you do that, you must contact your social services to get the carer's assessment for you and the person you are caring for. It's really important, because they'll be in a position to be able to take that role off you for perhaps for 2 weeks. So you can go on a break by yourself, or maybe you want to go on a break with the person you are caring for. But there are so many different ways of doing that. But the most important thing is just getting that respite care assessment. And if you are not successful, we can also show you ways that you can get other organizations to be able to help provide that service to you. So this is the first section of the digital resource. And the next section we have here, support for caring. Now this, we've sort of like really built it in such a way that everything you need at the very start of caring, especially around the upfront guide, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. But we start off with a very important two of them actually, called About Me, e-learning module. And it's really about how you can build a network around you to be able to help you care for your loved one. And it could be, from a network of family members, friends, but also most importantly, knowing those local resources, those local services that can provide you the much needed extra support, but also the role of, caring in your life, and also letting you know about the technology that we have in place to be able to help you continue caring. And that could be anything from the Jointly app or other technologies out there that can also help in terms of caring. But it really focuses a lot around local services, around technology, and how you can pull in people together to be able to support you. And again, I'll leave this e-learning module for you to be able to come into in your own time and go through it. It's not that taxing. It's only about 30 minutes, but it's really one of the best 30 minutes of your life you can spend going through something so critical in your life. The upfront guide was designed for carers to use at the very start of their caring journey. And it's very simple. And, because we know the craziness, the maze when it comes to caring, trying to navigate the system, finding all the vital information that you need. But what we've done is to put together a series of questions, and anything from the state of your relationship, the state of your finances at the moment, the person you're caring for. We'll ask you this series of questions, and from what you've answered, we'll email you the questions back, and we're able to signpost you to so many different support services and information in your local area, from Carers UK, and things, and general things that be able to support you. So if we quickly look at accessing the upfront guide. So this is what it looks like. So we'll ask your name, your email address, because that's where it will send the information to. We do not get to hold this information. So if you accidentally delete it, you'll probably have to come back here and do this all over again. But it's good to have it safe and even saved if you can, because something that you can always reflect back to. And it'll ask you about the person you're caring for, your mom, her illness, her age, and then from there, that's it. It moves on to sort of like the state of your finances. How are you traveling or commuting to hospitals? Are you taking taxis? Perhaps you're feeling very flush and you say yes. So at the end of it, we can also let you know that there are certain services that you can make the most of as opposed to taking taxis. It could be bus shuttles, things like that. Relationships, and we all know caring can be isolating. 72% of carers feel isolated as a result of caring. So do you still have friends that you can talk to? Perhaps the answer is no. We can also let you know about suggesting, going to your local cancer center. There could be other carers there who are also looking after someone in a similar position. So we're able to kind of like provide that extra little bit of help and that carers are constantly in need of. So this is your upfront guide, and we really ask you to try and use this at the very start of your caring journey. It's worth it. And I think, sort of like the curated information you get at the end of it is worth every single questions it's asked you from the beginning. So this is the newest one we've added onto this section. It's called My Backup. My Backup was put together just a couple of months ago, and we really and I think it works so much better, especially with this current crisis. But it looks at a good contingency plan. Every single carer must have a contingency plan. And, it's very simple. It's only 4 pages long. And trust me, it's not that very long. Just very short questions, but it's just kind of like asking you those really important questions that perhaps you haven't even thought of, or maybe you have, but it's kind of like looking at things such as, if something happens right now, it doesn't have to be this crisis, it could be something else. Is there somebody else who can take over from you in times of crisis? So if you can't make it to your mom's by 3 o'clock to give her medication, is there somebody else you can call on to be able to do that? Local services, do you even know the local services in your area that could also provide a simple support or doing something in your place when you're not able to do that? Does your local GP know that you are a carer? Have you been signed up to them as a carer? So things that you can put into place to provide you with that really much needed support, and knowing fully well that if you are not able to do your caring job, somebody else or someone else or another local service can easily do that for you. So this is my my backup. Again, it's pretty simple. You just put your name, you put your email address, and we say continue. And it'll ask you all these questions. So this is what I mean by, if something unforeseen or unplanned happens, do you have a contingency plan? If you cannot care for some reason, do you know services that are available locally that can do that? So from what you've answered here, yes or no, or you don't know, we'll be able to put together a really good curated information for you, and we send that straight to your email address, and you'll be able to have that in hand, and you can save that as well to be able to come back to it at a later date should you need it. And most times carers definitely will need that. We also have here, if you look here, it's got looking after someone guide, and it's available across all 4 nations. So it gives you information whether or not you live, whether you live in England, Wales, Scotland, or Northern Ireland, or perhaps you are caring from a distance. So you can be here and a loved one lives in Scotland. You get to know the support service, the sort of like a financial support, practical support that's available in those areas that can help you continue caring for your loved one from anywhere. But it's really vital to be able to go through looking after someone guide, and we always update this every single year to just make sure that information there is fresh, it's up to date, and it's absolutely relevant. We also have here Being Heard. It's a self-advocacy guide for carers. And we, from talking to carers, we know, and this happens on a regular basis, where carers are saying to us, every time I speak to professionals, it feels like as though they're talking at us, past us, through us, but nobody looks us in the eye and actually talks to us. And we're trying to give you that sort of like a confidence to be able to stand on your own feet and really be direct with professionals. And you say to them, I'm the carer, I'm looking after, my loved ones. So if there's anything you need to say to me, I do understand it, I can understand it. And you can ask questions as well, because you deserve to know what's going on. You are the person looking after a loved one. So if you feel that someone is not talking to you the way they should, then you'll be able to have the confidence to be, to have a conversation with them and get the answers that you need. So that's our being heard advocacy. We also have fact sheets to be able to show you how caring, can sort of the practical support you can get through caring, including carer's allowance and all kinds of tax breaks that you can receive as a carer. Atlas of Caregiving just shows you how you can care from any part of the world. And I think it's all about the modern technology that exists currently to be able to show you that you can live in New Zealand and you'll be caring for a loved one who lives in England. So it does happen, and there are people who go through that. Perhaps you can also draw your own and just show what that looks like in your own family, how everyone's displaced, but you're still able to care for someone far, far away. We also have a 45-minute young adult carers e-learning module here, and this is through sort of like, conversations with so many different sectors, including local authorities, and they do tell us more and more young people are becoming carers, especially sideways, caring for friends and family because of mental health issues. But we also have carers who work in the hospitality sector, who work in retail sector, and they do make up a good number of employees in those areas. So it's really vital that carers can also be able to access information that's around education, around housing, as well as employment. So it really is worth knowing any young carer to be able to have them go through this e-learning module. And then the third section, we have the technology, and this is where you get to find Jointly. Josh has spoken briefly on Jointly, but Jointly really is as good as it says. We believe that caring is so much easier when it's done jointly, but we do understand that there are carers who don't have anyone else to share care responsibilities with. And if you're in that position, it doesn't matter, you can still use Jointly as a lone carer, and of course, using Jointly with other people. So as the principal Jointly downloader, once you download Jointly, you can get, and also, by the way, once you download Jointly, you get to keep Jointly for life, no matter what happens. So we never ever take that away from you. So once you download Jointly, you get to then invite other people to your a circle, to build a circle around your mom who's got cancer and she's 66 or whatever. So you build that circle around her. And then also you are able to, what we've now done, actually that's quite critical, is before you can only build a circle around one person, only lets you do just one cared for. But now we've increased it to up to 10 people that you are caring for, because we have come in contact with carers who are caring for more than one person, and some people up to 5 loved family members that they're caring for. So you can actually build a circle for up to 10 people that you are caring for. So you invite those to your circle, and then you build so many different things. So I'll tell you a little bit about some of the tabs that we have existing. So with Jointly, it gives you the chance to also have tasks. You can allocate tasks to people. So if you live in London and maybe your mom lives in Blackpool, you can, and she gets on very well with her neighbor, you can invite her neighbor to join the circle. And if you require the neighbor to help your mom with medication at 3 p.m., once the neighbor's done that, they can come into the app and they'll be able to tick it off. So you're in London knowing fully well that things have been handled back in Blackpool. So it's a really great way of those who are caring from a distance. But also, if you are caring with a loved one in your own home, it doesn't matter. It has a messaging tool, so you do not have to exit the app to be able to communicate with anyone. You can do all of that within the app. So that's really fantastic. So you don't have to use WhatsApp or text messages. It's all right there in the app. It has a medication tab, so you can list past medication as well as current medication, so that you don't have to keep remembering everything that your loved one is currently taking or has taken in the past. It has a calendar. You can sync all appointments. It has a contact list, so you can put all the relevant parties that helps you, that help you care, and it could also include their GPs, their doctors, if they're happy to have their details there. It could be just a generic GP phone number, so you can just have that quickly right there so you can access it when you need it. Jointly works online and offline, so if you find yourself in the middle of a hospital without Wi-Fi access, you can still access all the information contained within Jointly. And Jointly, you can download Jointly straight from your Google Play or App Store, but it also works very well on its own website. So this is the Jointly app on a web page. So we just look at the Jointly website. So this is pretty much what it looks like, and it's very simple and easy to set up a Jointly circle. Like I said, just like getting onto the digital resource for carers platform, as easy as setting up an Amazon account is the same thing for Jointly. And that's, I think, what's made it so accessible is the fact that you can have it on a web. So if you have a phone or any kind of device and you're on the go, you can have that. If you haven't downloaded it straight from Google Store or App Store, then it's fine because you can still access it through the web. And of course, it's available across any device that you have, as long as it's your own personal one. Will always recognize you and you can get into Jointly. And I know fully well that a lot of people during lockdown were also using it to be able to shop for loved ones and also have things delivered and knowing that it's been done in real time. So it's really worked a lot, especially in this crisis, for those who are either caring from a distance and those perhaps who are not. But so this is how you get onto Jointly. So you have options, either downloading it or coming straight to the web and be able to access Jointly. Would also let you know about other technologies that exist, especially motion sensors, that you can also sort of like look into to be able to support you and provide help. The fourth section looks around financial planning. We understand the impact of caring on your finances. So what's really important is knowing fully well how you can save money. So we kind of like help you think about ways to save money. That includes health costs. It could be around prescription, housing benefits, how to talk to your local advice service bureau. And there's also a 45 e-learning module here that sort of like looks around the role of managing finances. But what's also very important about this area is around managing someone's affairs. So we do come across this quite frequently from carers around, I'm looking after someone and I'm just kind of in a position to ensure that I'm able to, keep on top of their finances before they lose the control to be able to do so. So we are also showing people how you can also be able to apply and be in a position to be able to help your loved one manage their financial affairs. So the final section on this platform deals around working and skills. So this is not just solely for those who are currently in employment. It could also be for those who are thinking about returning to work. So there is an e-learning module here, the working and caring e-learning module, and really it looks around those critical questions that carers tend to pose on a regular basis, such as, I'm thinking about leaving work because I can no longer juggle work and care. And we do understand, the stress of it all. But however, think about the fact that you can still speak to your line manager or HR before you make that kind of decision. I'm thinking about coming back to work for the first time in 20 years, and I'm scared. Where do I start? We give you advice on how to be able to, dip your toes back into the work environment for the first time in so long. But it sort of like moves in very seamlessly to the next e-learning that we have here, Learning for Living. So Learning for Living was just introduced a couple of, I think 2 weeks before lockdown. And it's so really, really important because what it does is to help carers understand and recognize those vital skills they've learned through their caring journey. And one thing that carers never sort of like think about, perhaps you've been cooking for 20 years as a carer and you don't think it's anything meaningful. Yes, I was, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. That's nothing. That could be worth something for somebody else. You can move into a whole different industry. You can even put that into a volunteer capacity and make the most of that skill. Perhaps you've been helping your grandfather every week, sorting out his finances just for 5 minutes. Maybe you can think about bookkeeping because you've done it for over 10 years and you're so good at it, but it helps you recognize, and that's the most important thing. Carers tend to forget or lack sort of like that confidence to be able to understand that everything you have been through is not for, it's nothing, it's not for nothing, because it really will be able to help you develop and be able to help to build and even move around jobs, possibly even go for a promotion if that's what you want. But it would help you to be able to recognize and feel confident in accepting what you've been through is not worthless. It has a worth, and someone else can be able to be on the receiving side of it. And also, we also have some numerous guides for carers around our flexible working, leaving work, as I mentioned, of course, seeking support. So at the end of it, obviously, we're looking at, I'm thinking of leaving work, and this is really what I mentioned about thinking about ways not to, because we know the financial impact on you if you ever leave work or reduce your hours. And we know that since the pandemic, 80% of carers are now spending 3 times more than they ever did before the pandemic. So can you imagine if you left work, if you had to reduce your hours, where you'll be financially? So that's these are the sort of like the 5 main areas when it comes to the digital resource. But what's so good about this platform is it gives your own service provider the chance to be able to put their own information here and signpost you to relevant areas within your own community, to signpost you to back to Lambeth Council or my community directory, or anything that they feel is relevant for carers, because they're in constant connection and in contact with you. So they're able to know what you need the most. But just before I finish, I think it's very important to highlight that on the right side of this platform, we have our COVID-19 guidance. And once you click on it, it will take you straight to Carers UK page around coronavirus, and this is constantly being updated. As you can see, it was last updated just over an hour ago, and and it's available across all 4 nations, and we do as much as possible to make sure that it is up to date and it's sort of like giving you the right and correct information. So this is where you get to be able to have more information around COVID. And of course, our Carers UK helpline, it's available 9 to 6, Monday to Friday, and you can email as well, and that's open 24 hours. We also have information around flu jabs. It's so important as a carer that you take this seriously, especially knowing very well that you may have someone who may be vulnerable that you are caring for. But the good thing about it also lets you know your entitlements as well. So if you click on it, it will take you straight to Carers UK website to let you know about the flu jabs, especially around if you are older, if you're over 65, there's a very good chance you're going to get it for free. If you have underlying health conditions, you will also be getting that for free if you're pregnant, and so on. So you know what your entitlements are. You also have access to our online forum that is open 24 hours. As a carer, caring just doesn't stop. It's constant till the very end, whatever that end would look like. So if you ever feel the need to have someone to talk to at any time, this is your chance to just get on there and speak to anyone. There'll be someone who's happy to give you some nice, good words of advice, who's been through similar things such as you, and able to sort of like, talk you through what they've also been through and offer you some nice, good words. So this is a digital resource for carers platform. And I do hope that you make the most of the resources that are there. But in your own time, get onto it and just navigate across the platform, because it has so much information. It's heavy. Yes, we do know it, but we do understand that these are the things that you said to us are quite important in your lives right now.
Perfect. Cool. Thank you, Juliet. We've had a few sort of questions pop in through the comments. One being someone's just asked, or just pull it up. Where is it? So I could probably answer the first part of it. So the question was, can any carer sign up to Carers UK? In other words, not just members of the Lambeth Carers Card. So the first part of that I'll answer, and then I'll hand over to Juliet. But yeah, so in Lambeth, the version of the Lambeth Carers Card, so you can gain access to obviously the Carers UK digital platform that Juliet's kindly presented through for free. And that's through an access code, a free digital access code, which I'll explain, which I'll talk about a bit more on the next slide. But Juliet, just I guess just a question, just to sort of end that, is there other ways that carers can sort of sign up to Carers UK without, obviously, they didn't want to sort of come through?
Absolutely. Well, you can just go straight to Carers UK website and sign up. We are a free national membership charity, so it does not cost anything to sign up at all. So if you go straight to Carers UK, sign up, it says join us, and they only ask you about 6 or 7 questions. That's it. And you become a Carers UK member. That's all you need. You know, we are here for all carers. We're not charging carers for anything. If anything, what we are doing is to really campaign and amplify your voices and making sure that carers are being supported from the grassroots. So it's free for anyone to join. Just get onto Carers UK website. You know, we really are looking for more people to join so that we can keep talking to you and finding out what's really important and what you need the most. So it's very easy. And like I said, again, it's just as easy as setting up an Amazon account and that's it. And you are a member.
Perfect. Cool. Thanks, Julia. And yeah, just one more sort of question that I probably could answer is just that will organisations be able to make accounts to help carers who struggle with IT? So I currently am doing this at the moment just to help carers, you know, sign up to the digital resources and things like that, whether it's over the phone or obviously virtually via Zoom or whatever works for the carer themselves. So I'm more than happy to, you know, I'm already doing it, I should say, with carers there. So which is great. So cool. So I'm just having a quick last look to see if there's anything, any last questions for you, Juliet. I think that is it. Oh, can they access the resources she talked about if they're members? Yes, so yeah, so if you sign up, so obviously on the Lambeth Carers Card, if you sign up, you'll be able to access all the resources that Juliet has mentioned, so which is fantastic. And as everyone can see, there's a wealth of information there that people can dive into, and so many sections that you know, that can help your caring role as well. So yeah, cool. Well, Julia, I think that's the last sort of question for us, but thank you so much for showing us. It's it's amazing. It's amazing to do.
I just hope that everyone is able to find this as easy to use, and we've really done it in such a way that it's easy to navigate, it's easy to access. That's the most important thing, because you just don't want to add to another extra stress on carers.
Exactly.
So please make the most of this. It's free. Lambeth has it and for quite a very long time, so make the most of it, please.
100%, 100%. Cool. Thanks, Juliet. Cool. I will kick us off again. Fantastic. Cool. I shall share my screen. And yeah, if anyone has any more questions for Juliet or about the scheme, feel free to comment then below in the live stream, and we can pick them up later on in the presentation here. Cool. Right, cool. So how to sign up. So we've had a few questions come in about how to sign up, and to be honest, it's easy as just popping over to the Lambeth Carers Card website, which is lambethcarerscard.org, or you can give us a call on the number below, obviously just varying on the office hours, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So as I mentioned in my first slide, the scheme is open to any unpaid carer who is over the age of 18 that lives in Lambeth or cares for someone in Lambeth there as well. So what I will do is I'll quickly present this slide, and then I will actually show you the website, what you're going to sort of get and see when you sign up, and then take you to these resources on the signing up and putting in your access code, just so that it's a bit easier and more time efficient for you guys to when you sign up. So when you sign up, as I mentioned, you pop over to the Lambeth Carers Card website, you fill out the form, and then you will receive a thank you email, which contains your free digital access code. along with the links to Jointly and obviously the digital platform itself. Once that's all done, your welcome packs will be then posted out. So like I mentioned, people who are already signed up to the scheme, your welcome packs will be on the way, and the first batch will be heading out as of next week. So keep an eye out for those. Right, so I'll quickly show you the digital resource, how to sign up, and the website. Put it up. Cool. So this is the website page. So as I mentioned, like you do, pop in lambethcarerscard.org and then click on sign up for your Lambeth Carers Card. It tells you a bit about the card, about the data, and then the sign up form down here. So you pop in your details, and then once you've submitted, you will receive that thank you email and also a thank you message with your free digital access code. So once you get that digital access code, if it allows me, I'll just stop sharing. Oh, technology, eh?
Always.
Yeah. Cool. Apologies. Share. Cool. So like Juliet was mentioning, that wealth of information that you receive on the digital resources for carers. This is the link that we send in that thank you email. Obviously, once you land on the page, you click create new account, you pop in your details, and right here is where you pop in that free digital access code into that there. Same thing for Jointly. Land on this page here, you pop in your details, you sign up, and then there'll be a free digital access code box where you can pop in there as well. Cool, we're almost there. Perfect. So coming to the sort of last couple of slides, how to get in touch. Like I said, give us a call, give me a call on the number there, our email address here, and obviously our website there. And just bear in mind, our office hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 as well. So we can pick up, we can help. I can help with any sort of IT issues with you signing up there over the phone or obviously virtual. Any sort of questions, fire them away. Give me a call as well. So that's our contact details there. And I just wanted to finish on, as I mentioned, I guess MYsocial, who we're working with to deliver the Lambeth Carers Card, and I think it's a great sort of video to finish the presentation on, and I guess it sort of highlights the nice work that MYsocial and other organisations are doing in the community of in the Borough of Lambeth, and essentially just connecting people and carers together, especially during this difficult time. So I shall play this video, and please, as I mentioned, any questions or anything that you have, just pop them in the comments.
What do you love about MYsocial?
Am I on?
Yes, you're on now. Go for it. Oh, Vidor, you've muted yourself. Unmute.
Is that any better?
That's good. Go for it. Start again. There you go.
MYsocial for me is I show off to my family to say I'm busy every day. People think I'm lonely, I'm all on my own and all the rest of it. I never feel lonely at all.
The participation in quite a lot of the events has been amazing. You just get to connect with people through the conversation.
So I only knew one person, but now it seems like I know everybody. It's like a family.
I'm a person that used to lie in the mornings. But with MYsocial, it gives me that opportunity to get up and get myself sorted to sign on.
We all find each other interesting, so that's lovely. You're a real lifeline, MYsocial. Thank you very much.
Yeah, don't hesitate, join up. Do it. Just do it.
And yeah, just like I was saying, it's a fantastic visual of, you know, what the work MYsocial does within our community. It's, you know, connecting people together, I should say, and, you know, doing things that they love. And obviously what you were seeing there is, you know, there was events obviously before the lockdown, you know, where everyone sort of gets together and just essentially loves doing what they do. So yeah, so fantastic video from MYsocial there. Cool. So we're on to the last bit. Any sort of questions, last sort of questions that you guys might have. I'll quickly have a look, just have a browse through the comments. But there's a few questions that I want to touch on that I sort of get asked, you know, sort of every now and then, is the first one being how many, you know, how many people can sign up for the card if there's more than one person caring for their care forward, and anyone can sign up, you know, if it's, you know, you and your brother that care for your mum, both of you can sign up to the Lambeth Carers Card scheme there as well. How long does my card take in the welcome pack? So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we're sending out the first batch of the welcome packs and the physical card in the post as of next week. So yeah, just keep an eye out for those in the mail. Yep, eligible to sign up. So if you're an unpaid carer that's over the age of 18 that lives in or cares for someone that lives in Lambeth, then you can sign up there. You don't have to be registered with MYsocial or Carers Hub Lambeth. You can just be you know, a carer that looks after someone unpaid and meets those requirements there as well. Cool. And the last question I get asked a lot is, do I have to pay? So no, it is a free, it's a free scheme to support unpaid carers. And on my previous slide, that's who we're funded by as well. So yeah, those are sorts of the questions that, you know, that I get asked regularly, which is good. And I'm just having a look. So yeah, just with the discounts, just to sort of touch a bit about that. So you know, we're looking at, so once the situation with COVID-19, you know, it gets a bit better and allows us to, we'll be offering you know, discounts to with local businesses, I should say, within the borough as well. But yeah, we're sort of just keeping a close eye on what sort of happens with the situation. But we will keep everyone up to date once we're allowed to move on with the discounts there. Just one more sort of question coming through. What about local organizations who want to, yep, so yeah, just what I touched about on the local organizations wanting to, I guess, link up and you know, for instance, join our, you know, webinars and things like that. We're really keen to yeah, make contact with any organizations just so that we can promote, you know, that helpful information for our carers and connect our carers to, you know, to your organizations and things like that. So we really want to link, you know, everyone up together and obviously support our carers as well. Yeah, so I think that's it for the questions. But as I mentioned, anything you do, anything, you know, last minute that you come up, just send us an email, give us a call, or pop onto our website if you want to find out more. Yeah, and yeah, thank you very much to Juliet for joining us and giving us that knowledge of the digital resource, and I hope everyone found that very helpful. And yeah, any last questions, just fire them away to myself on the details above to our email address, or give us a call. So I shall stop streaming, but thank you very much everyone for viewing, and I hope everyone has a nice Wednesday, rest of their Wednesday.
Indeed.
Perfect. Cool. I'll stop the recording here.